Good morning, St. Michael family. Good morning, friends at All Nations Church. Thrilled that I can join you by video this morning and talk about my friend, Sid, who I miss, who was just a wonderful friend to me and to my family. I wish I could have made the trek up, but it just didn't work out that way. And so I'm honored to be able to join you by way of this video, at least, to share a few memories I have of Sid and some of the ways that I saw a man who cared. And the Sid that I knew was a man who cared. He cared for people. Every year at Thanksgiving and at Easter, we would often have potlucks. And Sid wasn't going to make anything, but he said to me, here's the deal. I'll pay for the turkey or for the ham, whatever you buy. You cook it, I'll pay for it, and then we'll eat it. And he would show up and people would bring food and we'd have this big potluck, and the centerpiece was always whatever Sid had paid for that we would cook. And we would laugh and we would talk, and he would sit back and enjoy that meal and just enjoy watching people connect. Sid cared for me and for my family. Oftentimes he would take time to speak to my boys and ask them how they were doing. They would go for rides on his scooter. They would take him for rides on his scooter. And one time he was driving with Elijah and they were honking the horn on the handlebars. And they had a wicked brick had been heaved by frost, and they hit this brick and it threw them off. And rather than Sid stick his arms out or try to catch himself, he pulled Elijah in tight and he wrapped him right in, and he twisted and he fell and he took the brunt on his shoulder and on his side when he landed. And the first thing he said is Elijah okay? Is the boy okay? And he just cared for him that way. My boys called him Grandpa Sid and just enjoyed being around him and just being part of life with him. He would always say, make sure your wife can come. If your wife wants to come for breakfast, tell her she's always welcome. And I just enjoyed his calm, quiet presence and just spending time with him. And for myself, when he moved out of the Landmark, he gave me a few of his tools. And right now, as we speak, I'm making a table, and that table is held together with clamps that Sid gave me. And so still today, whenever I see those clamps, I think about Sid, and I think about how grateful I am that he was a part of my life. He cared for his church. He would often, when it was being built, we'd go up and we'd inspect just to see how things were going. And he'd ask me about the heating system every week. He would ask me about the heating system. Is it going to be gas? Is it going to be hot water? Because that's what he knew. And he was very excited because for a while, with the off and on stops and starts of the construction, he said to me once he wasn't sure he was going to get to be in it. And so on the grand opening, when he was part of that grand opening celebration, when he was there and he saw the people coming in, he was just very pleased to have been a part of that and to be part of what was going on in that church. And again, like I said, he cared for his church family by doing things and helping out around the Landmark, taking care of people. And Sid wasn't a big talker. Everybody knows that. But he really loved his family. And he would tell me stories once in a while, just snippets here and there of stuff that his family were doing. And he was always so proud. And, oh, yeah, doing this. Oh, son's doing that. Oh, grandson's doing this. And just tell me the stories of little things that you guys were doing. And so you're always in his thoughts. And of course, he loved his wife. I used to catch them out sometimes. I'd see them out and about in their scooters together and, zipping through the mall together. And you didn't step in their way because I don't think they knew those things slowed down. But they just had such great joy being out and about together and eating in a restaurant or taking time and spending time with each other. And I was just very pleased to have known her and to see the way that they cared for one another and the way that they did life together. For me, he was a man who cared, and he was a good friend. He was a good friend, and I miss him. And I know you do too. And you have my prayers today. My thoughts are with you. And just God bless you. And we know now that Sid is at peace. And, his legs are working, and everything is fine. And I'm sure 5 minutes after he got to heaven, he saw his wife, saw Gladys, he was off, and he was just working on the boiler, trying to make sure the heating system was fine. So we know that he's okay and that one day we can join him. God bless you. Have a great day.